Repurchase agreements. Repurchase agreements are also known as repos. Repos are a vital source of secured short-term borrowing and lending in financial markets. Let us look at a bigger picture of how repos work. I would paint a practical example. I used to work with a global asset management firm where I manage proprietary funds. On a monthly basis, I need to fund a particular account. To be more specific, on the 25th of each month, I need to fund a particular account with, let's say, for assumption's sake, 1 million US dollars. There are some months that I might not have cash to fund this particular account before the 25th of that month. But it could also be possible that I expect maturities coming from, let's say, bond 1 on the 28th of that particular month that is also worth 1 million US dollars. So what I typically do is to go into a repo agreement, which I will explain shortly. Some individuals could argue that why do I not sell bonds or treasury bills in my portfolio to fund the obligation on the 25th of this month. It is possible that the bonds I have in my portfolio were purchased at relatively high yield, but now the yield in the market might be relatively low. So that implies that if I sell a bond in my portfolio to fund this 1 million obligation by the 28th of that same month, when maturity comes in from this bond 1, the maturity will now be reinvested at a relatively lower yield. So as a result, I prefer to go into a repo agreement. So let's say this is me. In a repo agreement, I sell high quality government bonds to, let's say, a counterparty XYZ, and on the day that I agree to sell this high quality government bond to this counterparty, we will also agree on the day I would repurchase this high quality government bond. So let us assume that the high quality government bond will be sold to this counterparty at, let's say, $100, just for assumption's sake, on the 25th of that particular month. Since I am expecting maturities on the 28th of that same month, then I can agree to repurchase the high quality government bond from this counterparty on the 28th of that same month. So I could agree to repurchase the bond at, let's say, 101 US dollars. Looking at this transaction again, you can deduce that I am actually borrowing funds worth $100, and I am using this high quality government bond as collateral. But the amazing thing about this transaction is that I still retain the high quality, the ownership of the high quality government bond, and any coupon paid in relation to this high quality government bond between the 25th and 28th of that particular month belongs to me. You can also deduce that the interest in this transaction, because technically speaking it's a loan, the interest in this transaction is actually $1. And I got the $1 from this, which is 101. That's the repurchase price minus $100, which is the selling price, the original selling price. In a repo, the seller sells a security, often a high quality one, such as a government bond, to provide liquidity and also minimize risk. The seller also agrees to buy back the security at a predetermined price on a specific future date. This transaction allows the seller to borrow funds using the security as a collateral. I'm sure we agree with this. The repo market typically involves short-term agreements ranging from overnight, that is 1 day, to several days, and the repo agreement usually includes the most liquid and low-risk securities. The security seller retains ownership of the security, as I said earlier, and also retains any associated interest during the term of the repo.